Tom has basically created the world's first platform for AI video content. It will allow creators like me to be able to monetize their movie. Hi, so this is a big week. I've finally had some help with getting my movie made. Peter reached out to me a few days ago and asked if I could do with any help. And I was very, very grateful for it and said, yes, please. And the reason it's been so helpful to have Peter come along and help out. In fact, let me cut to just say hi for a second, Peter. You don't have to say anything else, but let me go. Here we go. This is Peter.
Hi. Nice to be here.
The poor guy has a really bad toothache, and he's really suffering through all of this. And he said, I'm not sure I can be on camera with this toothache. And I said, that's fine. I just want you to wave and show your face. So he's going to help me to illustrate The Office as well while we're here and what this is doing. But this is exciting, and I want to share with you what we've been doing, because team working, I think, is really, really important if you're serious about AI filmmaking projects. I've talked a lot about this. At the very least, the need for screenwriters who aren't confident with AI filmmaking tools to team up with AI filmmakers who are not confident with screenwriting. And in fact, that kind of is how Peter got in touch with me, because he said, look, I'm really excited about AI filmmaking technology, but I don't consider myself to be to have strong skills in screenwriting, but you're clearly passionate about your project, so do you need help? And it's great. So I was like, yeah. So this is what Peter and I have been doing together is something I've been trying to encourage others to do. In fact, I set up a Facebook group that I'll link below to try and get screenwriters and AI filmmakers together. So there are a couple of things that we've been testing out here. I wanted to test out some team working tools to test out how it would be to collaborate. And we're also testing out kind of team working procedures to see if we can figure out a more effective way to work together than just working solo. Part of the reason I'm interested in this is that Tom Payton, the writer and director of Where the Robots Grow, the world's first animated AI feature film that was uploaded last year. You can watch it on YouTube. I'll link that below. I went to visit Tom at his studios in Coventry, and he showed me how with a team of 9 people, they created an animated AI feature film in 90 days. And that was mind-blowing for me. And I asked him about this, which is the most, I mean, how many people is the ideal team? And he said 9, no more, no less. And I watched how to some degree, how they worked. And I was like, okay, if that is the ideal team size for the future, for AI filmmaking, then I need to figure out how to make that work. Because ultimately, I've realized I'm not going to make my feature film on my own. It's going to be made by a micro filmmaking team. Either a team like Tom Payton's at AiMation Studios, or one that I set up myself. I don't know yet. I don't really want to set up a big team, but if I have to, I have to. So that's why I've been drawn to the idea of larger, of kind of micro teams of kind of 6 to 9 people. So Peter is helping me kind of get that started. The first thing I wanted to show you about, and because with any project, the project lives or fails based on communication. Communication between a team, in my view, in my experience so far, is the thing that either makes or breaks any kind of collaborative project, whether it's AI or any other kind of collaborative project. So the first thing I wanted to do was figure out, well, how can I work together as if we are in the same office? Because we obviously don't have the space. Peter is in the Czech Republic. He's in Prague. And we're working to GMT. So we're working 9 to 5-ish on UK time. That's one of the challenges with working internationally and communicating internationally. It tends to work better if you're in a similar time zone, if you're only a couple of hours away from each other, or if you're willing to work through the night or get up super early. Anyway, we have been using GatherTown, which is this tool here. And if I show you, I love this because what we can do, you can see here. Let's see if can I zoom in? Yeah. Here we are. There's me and Peter in Peter's office. And the reason we're in Peter's office is because when you're in the office together, you get to talk together. Now, if I, you'll see my character. Off I go, off for a little walk. And now Peter disappears from the screen. I go back to my desk, and if you've never used one of these, it's like playing a video game. But in terms of usefulness, it's really great, because if Peter comes into view now, look, I can click on this, and Peter can hear me because he is getting closer and closer to my desk. And now he walks straight up to me. Look at that. And suddenly his little his video pops up on screen, and we can carry on our conversation. And that's how I've been talking to him. We'll each go back to our desks, and then I'll go wandering into Peter's office when I've got something to chat about. And then immediately we can answer questions and ask questions and resolve things very quickly. And the thing that is really, really fun here is that we can share screens really, really easily, so that I can click share screen here, and I will share this window. Screen sharing isn't revolutionary, but it's so breathtakingly easy. So here we've got Catalyst up on here, and we're using Catalyst, or at least we're going to be using Catalyst as the as our storyboard tool. At the moment, they're just setting me up so that we can collaborate as a team, and we're not quite there yet, but it's almost set up. And we've been sharing screens on all kinds of things. In terms of what we've been doing as a project so far, we've started out with creating assets. We're starting from scratch. Most of what I've done in the past, I've shelved that, and I'm pulling in some of the assets that I like, but we're just starting from scratch together. And so we've been creating, let me show you the reference images. So one of the first things that we did was set up a folder structure to keep a track of all of our characters. And these are the characters that appear in the first 2 scenes, 29 of them. And some of them are main characters, like Daisy, who is the main character of this movie. We've put a lot of effort into creating reference images to train a Laura, or possibly 2 Lauras. And so we've got all of the kind of, here we go, we've got some master face shots of this girl from lots of different angles. Best way to get these images is to take a master image from Midjourney or whatever tool you use to create a master image, and then pull it into Kling and ask the character to animate in some way, to turn around, to show off her hair, to show off her outfit, to start smiling. And then I literally just take screen grabs from the video. And that works just great. So we've been gathering those together. Peter has done a great job, actually, of coming up with a workflow in Comfy UI that will allow us to have more authentic looking skin. And this is the benefit of working with somebody else. I would never have got into this, but Peter brings his skills to the table. And I don't know if you can see the difference there, but there's a before and after with the original slightly plastic looking Midjourney version and a slightly more human looking version of this character. And it's these dumb little things that when you get a team together, you can start to do much more nuanced things. There's one other thing that I want to talk about while I remember. Tom Payton and AiMation Studios have just launched something very, very important this week. I'll link below, but if you go to the AiMation website, they've launched as far as I can tell, I think it's the world's first platform for AI video content or AI movies. Tom likes to call it synthetic filmmaking because it's not just limited to AI, but anything that helps you to kind of create movies synthetically. But it's a new app that is basically a platform for filmmakers. And if you want to go and check it out, it's by invite only at the moment because it's in beta mode. It's a beta phase, so it's still buggy, but you'll see the point of it there is that it will allow, when it's up and running properly, it will allow creators like me to upload my film and monetize it. And that's the really important thing, because trying to monetize my movie from a YouTube channel means you've got to build a whole channel to monetize it. Or if you're hoping to go to theatre release or to streaming giant, you're up against a mountain to climb. So Tom has basically created what I hope will become the YouTube for single project creators to be able to monetize their movie. It's a really important piece of the puzzle that he's launched this week. Peter, what else is worth talking about? Teamwork makes the dream work. I guess this is the thing to finish on. If you've watched this far, we're opening this up. We could probably do with a few more people. Our first test run is to spend 2 days a week, Monday, Thursday and Friday, working in this virtual office together, working specifically on the first 2 scenes for my movie. In a month, we'll see how far we've got, and we'll reassess it and see whether Peter has the time and availability to carry on and whether he wants to. But he's committed to treat this as if it's a professional client. Thank you very much, Peter. And very kindly donated 2 days a week for 4 weeks to see how far we get. So if anybody else feels that you've got the time to spare, 2 days a week, Greenwich Mean Time, 9 till 5 on a Thursday and a Friday, just email me. You can find my email in the description below. I would love to find some actors eventually, a female and a male, who can help me create video to video. But that, to be honest, would be a Yorkshire-based thing, or at least a UK thing. Could be great to hear from anybody who's a sound designer or a musician who can start to handle score, at least using AI tools or from your own talents, don't mind. I can start looking at all this, but it's time consuming. And this is the great idea of having a team, is you kind of spread the skills. Tom's team at AiMation Studios, he described his team as being, I'm paraphrasing now, he said they're multi-skilled, but they all hover around AI tools. So everybody is an AI creator in some shape or form, and they're encouraged to use whatever other AI tools pop up on the market. But they do have people that come from different skills, and particularly people who are willing to jump in front of the camera and motion capture a character to life. So if you're interested in joining in, email me. I guess this is episode 1 of the Captain Wishy Bloke Making My Movie vlog. That's not a snappy title, but that's basically it. In fact, we've called the studios Wishy Bloke Studios because the movie is really going to be called Captain Wishy Blokes. Telepathy Sucks was my alternate name for a while, but I decided to go back to the one that I loved the most, which was Captain Wishy Bloke. Peter, have you got anything to add? Here he is, just a friendly wave goodbye, and I think we're done.
Yeah.